And we will welcome Rick Grady forward now to do a typical talk about the capital campaign and some 40th anniversary refresh items.
Well, good morning, everyone. One of the things that they taught me a long time ago was never to follow babies or puppies. That steals the show, so good night. Long time ago, about 30 years ago, I met a young lady in the atrium of the sanctuary. This was not here. This was all grass and bushes and trees, and we were over there in what we call the fellowship hall. But I met a young lady in the atrium there by the name of Betty Darrow. And hi, Betty. She watches this particular service, so I'll give a hands up for her. She doesn't get here. She doesn't want to watch it at 6:30 in the morning her time. So that's okay. And during that discussion, she discovered that I was a rock and roll disc jockey in my previous life. So she grabbed me by the hand, led me through the kitchen, through the gumdrop forest, through the candy cane forest, down the tunnel, and into a little dark room that was full of electronic gear, and said, we need help with our audio system. And 30 years ago, I started running the audio system up there, and have always been in a little black rectangular square in the back of the church. People wonder if I live there. The actual fact is I have been thinking of putting a cot back there, but I haven't done that yet. So, this is our house. We are the church. This is our house. This is where we gather. And so really I wanted to talk a little bit today about our house. And I'm going to relate it to my house that I built about 33 years ago. About 33 years ago, I built the house. It looked really great. After 33 years, it began to age a bit. And I thought I needed to do something to it. Certainly after 33 years, many of us begin to change things. We color our hair. We get a facelift. And it was time for my house to get a change because every time it hailed, it would beat on the siding, and I'd get these little dimples, and if I didn't paint them right away, the water would get in there, and it would rot the wood. And so I knew that at some point in time, the siding that I had to go away, and the squirrels started turning it into a chew toy. And so I went to the hardware store and I said, how do I get rid of the squirrels? And they said, you get this product called squirrel mace. And I thought, I'm not going to chase squirrels around my backyard with a little can of squirrel mace. And he said, no, that's not what it is. What it is it's a oil-based substance made out of peppermint, clove, and garlic. And you spray it on the house wherever the squirrels are. They hate the smell. They'll leave the house alone. And it was absolutely true. I bought a gallon of it. And I painted the whole house with this squirrel mace, and the squirrels absolutely left it alone. The neighbors started knocking on my door because it made the house smell like a pizzeria, and they wanted to know if I took reservations. But the squirrels stayed away until an Italian set of squirrels moved into the neighborhood, and then it really became a chew toy to them. So I decided this year I was going to replace all of the siding. At the same time, I decided I need to replace my air conditioning units because I've already gone through 2 sets. They're aging. They're beginning to fail. Need to replace those. And the air conditioning units aren't the fanciest things in the world. First thing is they cost as much as a brand new car. Second thing is that you can't invite your neighbors over to look at them because it's not exciting at all. So if you have any kind of backyard barbecue and say, hey, come on over, take a look at my air conditioning units, you're going to be the only one standing there with a hot dog on a stick. You can't take it to a nice restaurant and throw the thermostat to the valet and say, park it someplace where it won't get scratched. It's just not an exciting thing, but it is part of the infrastructure. And so what it really does is it keeps us cool in our house while it burns up our money on the outside. But we need to do something with that. And we need to do something certainly with our cameras too. So for the past 30 years, I have recognized all of you from your behind of your head. This is the way I've seen you for 30 years. And it's a thrill, but this is really a thrill. So wouldn't it be nice, because our viewers, I have their backs too. I literally have their backs. They get to see what I want them to see. They don't get to see what I don't want them to see. So they get to see the pastors when they're up here preaching. They get to see the choir when they're singing. They don't get to see Maddie when she's on her cell phone texting. And they don't and they don't get to see our seniors in high school falling asleep in the pews. So I don't show that. But I do show other things. So wouldn't it be nice to put a camera back here that's aimed this way so our audience can see you rather than the back of your head? Wouldn't it be nice to have a camera over here facing the choir so they could see the choir face on? Well, maybe not. But the choir always, when the choir shows up in the camera, the choir looks like this. It looks like they're trying out for the prettiest America's Most Wanted poster. And I swear at some point in time they're going to turn this way and it's just going to be a bunch of thin blue lines. That's the way the camera looks at it. So it would be great to have cameras over here facing this way. It would be cameras over here facing this way. So when we start talking about infrastructure, we're talking about our AC units. We're talking about even walking outside on our sidewalks where there might be a crack. But there also is where the cameras are placed and where the lighting is placed. When I was in high school and college, I was a high diver. And they start you in high diving from a 1 meter board, so you're about 3 feet off of the water. And as you begin to develop your skill, they move you to a 3 meter board. So now you're about maybe 10 feet off of the water. After a while, they move you to a 10 meter board. You're really good, they move you to a 10 meter board. Now you're 32 feet above the water. And you're standing 32 feet above the water, bobbing up and down, looking down, and realizing that there's a spray on the water to let you know just how far the water is down because you can't see it if it was still. And now you know how many turns you have to do before you hit the water. Pretty safe landing if you do it really nicely. Pretty hard landing if you do it bad. The ceilings here are 40 to 50 feet high. And when they bring in a crane to change these bulbs, and it sits here, and the arm stretches out to change those bulbs up there, all you have to do is shift your weight from one foot to another, and the carriage starts to sway 3 or 4 feet either direction. Now, when I was a high diver, that was not a problem because I had water below me. I didn't mind the heights. I minded the landing. And so if you're up here and it's swaying back and forth, you don't have that spray of water down there, and it ain't going to be a soft landing when you hit it. So LED lights would be a whole lot better than the incandescents that we have today. And I can tell you that when we turn the lights all the way on, TXU's stock price goes up because these things really burn some wattage. So it would save the church a whole lot of money if we had LEDs. And wouldn't it be nice if this back wall was colored at times for various services in liturgical coloring? Wouldn't it be nice when we have a baptism that you would see sort of a river of water coming down the wall? We once had a river of water coming down the wall, but that was an architectural failure. That wasn't a design at all. So there's a few things from an infrastructure standpoint that we need to improve. You know, I appreciate your time today. It is just a thrill to see you this way. I'm going to go back into my belfry, feel like Hunchback of Notre Dame, except I will not run around on the roof. He had a much better view than I did. So thank you very much. Have a very blessed day.